We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
Welcome back, folks. We got a great show today. We got a guest, Adrian Resto. And of course, I'm your host, Brian Escobar, my partner in crime, your other host with the most, Walter Duncan is here.
Yes.
And we got a great guest for you tonight, guys. How you doing, Walt?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to have Adrian on, excited for him to share his knowledge, his story, and learn a little bit about this ICP model we're going to talk about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Adrian, let's get into it.
yeah, exactly, man. The floor is yours. Let us know. Tell us about yourself, sir.
Well, I've been in payroll for about 15 years. Like many payroll people, I fell into it. I was working at Best Buy, actually, and then a friend of mine took me, he was an internship coordinator at Brook College, where I went to school. And he had an internship from sales. I think he had 2 internships. And he said, I'm done with this other one. It's at this company. It's a software company called Wireless Generation. And it's like, yeah, sure. He was like, it's an HR. So I started off as an HR intern, went to an HR coordinator, spent a year there as an HR coordinator, and then my position got eliminated. But in restructuring the HR team, they moved payroll to finance. And they gave me the option. You can take 2 months severance, or you can go with payroll. I went with payroll.
Heck yeah.
Little to no experience in payroll, but I had no experience in Excel at all. And at that point, all the systems were extremely manual. But yeah, I got into payroll and I've never looked back since. It's been
Yes.
a little ride.
You know what I was saying? I was like, wow, we're going to hear his origin story. And I was like, I hope folks don't get tired of it. I don't get tired of hearing origin stories. What about you, Walt?
No,
Right?
I love hearing how everybody got in. Like, this is
Yeah.
the first time I've ever heard somebody say that they were at Best Buy, and then they just got into payroll.
Security at Best
That's why.
I love the ultimatum.
That's really what it was. It was presented to me that way. Your job's being eliminated. You can either take this 2
Keep a
months.
job, no job.
And when my resume has 1 year of experience as a HR coordinator and then 3 years as a loss prevention officer at Best Buy, I thought, let me just hold on to this one and see where it goes with this payroll thing. And jumped into payroll there, and I was there for another 8 years. And I left there as their payroll manager.
Hey friends, Marnie Robbins here, host of Vibe Makers, a podcast now on the Work Defined Network. Look, we all know workplace culture doesn't come from a slide deck. Gross. It comes from people. So on Vibe Makers, I talk to the folks shaping the experience of work from the inside out. You know, the HR and people ops folk, founders, leaders, and misfits building culture through small bets, big beliefs, and a whole lot of trial and error. No fluff. Well, maybe a little fluff, but mainly just candid talk about what happens when you stop duct taping your culture together. Come check us out. Listen to Vibe Makers wherever you get your podcasts.
I'll never forget what my manager said there when I left. He said, when you came here, you knew nothing about Excel. And now, who am I going to ask questions to?
Wow.
Okay, and he taught me a lot of Excel. I always went on YouTube and looked at different videos. I read a couple of books.
Yep.
I never took a course, but when you're in the grind, the daily grind of payroll, and you're sitting in a finance department and your responsibilities include accruals and journal entries and things like that, you got to learn some tricks in Excel. So
Yep.
I definitely, I got pretty acquainted with Excel there.
All right.
Yeah. And what happens with Excel is, like you said, you drill into what you need for that job, right? And unless you get other exposures, oh, you become that expert. You quickly have to know what you need for that job. So yeah, no one will ever know it all.
That's a good point, because I think sometimes we take for granted the importance of Excel or Google Sheets now, and how
Yes.
vital it is for a payroll role. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because I don't really think we even touched on that on the show so much about
You're right.
Excel. And
No,
so
you're right.
thank you for
You're
mentioning
right. I mean, I think we always mention it like in passing. Oh, Excel. Never, hey guys, you need Excel.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crucial. When I left that company, so I was there for 9 years. And when I left that company, I went to another company that doesn't exist anymore called Managed by Q. And they were probably the hardest payroll I had to process, just because of the complexities. They had different hourly workers that were paid at different rates. They were given raises based on tenure, not on performance. And it was like a quarter or 40 cents, depending on the job function. So they were different. These employees would go to different offices, and they'd work 1 hour here as a helper, 2 hours at this other office as a handyman, 1 hour as an assistant here. There was travel time in between. We had a homegrown.
That's nuts.
We had a homegrown time and attendance.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock has tips to protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report phishing, and update the software on your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, let LifeLock alert you to suspicious uses of your personal information. LifeLock also fixes identity theft, guaranteed or your money back. Stay smart, safe, and protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
It wasn't even time and attendance. It was called Super Panel. And it was where everybody clocked in and clocked out. This reporting came from there. It would tell you where they were. It would tell you what job they did, how long they were there. But there was no calculations of overtime. We were in California. And if you know anything about California as well,
You already know.
overtime is very different over there.
Yep.
I had to calculate all that by itself. I had to also do the journal entries, that, split out everybody's pay by where they were at that moment. So like for those 2 hours that they worked at Uber, 2 hours they worked at BuzzFeed, 2 hours they worked at some other company, and then the travel time in between. And then on the journal entry side, I had to split all that, split the travel time. I had to calculate overtime manually. I remember, I think I had a 30-page Excel sheet. It was, it was a lot of, but had I not had that background in Excel, I would have never been able to do that. And when I started that job, they were getting timesheets. Bless you. When I started that job, they were getting timesheets in this other kind of system called Typeform, where basically as an employee, you would write your name in week 1 hours and week 2 hours, and that was it. And we were honor-based. It was a very scrappy, extremely scrappy startup.
Oh, wait, how many employees?
Probably when I started, I want to say maybe like 400 to 500.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And by the time, I think at its peak, somewhere around 800 to 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Managed by Q team can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty high because we were in New York, we were in Chicago, San Francisco, and LA.
Did the processes get better as it grew? Were you able to update a little bit, automate, improve process?
For sure. When I first got there, we were on a PEO, so and they basically did everything. We just manually keyed in the hours, and that was basically the payroll. We switched from there. I went to OT Pro, which is now UKG. And then
finding a great career has always been a challenge. But today, with the massive changes underway in just about every sector of the economy, in just about every country in the world, finding a great new career is even more challenging. And if you're a student, recent graduate, or someone else early in their career, it's even harder for you because you just don't have the experience that those who might be 10, 20, 30 years older than you have. The answer? The podcast, From Dorms to Desks, a podcast by College Recruiter job search site, where every week we take a deep dive into a topic specifically of interest to candidates who are early in their careers and looking for a great part-time, seasonal, internship, or other entry-level job.
Maybe a year or a year and a half later, we switched to ADP's
Oh, wow.
Workforce Now. But yeah, the processors got better. The timesheets never really got better. We had that homegrown system where we were able to extract
You
more
never
data.
moved off the homegrown system?
No, because they used it for billing as well.
I get it. See, yeah. And see, we talk about that, how like it's meant for something else. And then just they happen to have a payroll or a time module and you get stuck using it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It was,
Wow.
again, very scrappy. We got it done, but I owe a lot to that company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the versatility there, the group of people who I still keep in contact with.
That's-
And actually keep in contact with the Amplify folks too at some level. But so Amplify, Wireless Generation turned into Amplify. But yeah, they taught me so many different things. I can remember one of my managers there teaching me this green, yellow, red system in Excel. Where so anything I got was a source, I'd make a copy of it, and then in red, I would leave the original source there, and the copy would be in yellow because that'd be my worksheet, and what I delivered would be in green.
I like that.
It was a form of
Nugget,
guy.
Yes.
And that's I guess how they used to do it, but that kind of stuck with me, and I actually brought that with me to a couple of places.
For sure.
So whenever the auditors came, we have the source. It's untouched, direct from the system. It's the worksheet. It's the work I performed, and this is the end result where high level presentation piece.
Yep. That is. So I do something similar. It's not colors that I do control and then working file. And then I usually break off the presentation one of it. But that's similar. I like that color. Yeah, man. That's definitely a nugget.
Adrian just dropped the nugget, guys.
Yep. Free game, folks. Write it down. Write it down.
Thank Mr. Philip King for that one. He's like,
Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you for tuning in to It's About Payroll. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.